All right. Welcome, everybody. We'll get going here in just a second. Well, as you're coming on in, let's see. Oh, A Hug, you're already here. Man. Okay. So, yeah, coming on in, rocking and rolling, finishing your homework. That would be important to do. Yeah, the storm was pretty bad. Wow. Dedication right there on your phone. Okay, I respect that. Oh, man. You know, it's kind of funny how if you're just so many feet or so many, more in a direction, the power grid goes out or lightning hits or something. No one else is affected, but you are, especially on the days that you don't want to be affected. So we respect that. We'll have some fun. Yeah. What? I mean, feel free to own the chat today. Or are you going to be trading on your phone? Yes, in the sense. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Mm-hmm. That's a real good idea. Yes, yeah. I like that idea because something bad has happened and you're still gonna participate, but it's not your normal movement. And so you kind of make those adjustments right there. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yep. Oh, Keith, nice to see you today. The exact same thing that you did yesterday, Keith, is exactly what we want to focus on and do today. So may not be exciting, but it definitely provide with results. Wouldn't you agree with that, Keith? Yes, 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 exactly. All right. I'm just sending out a few invites to some people out there. Mm-hmm. All right. I think that's enough of all that. Okay. Well, make sure you put your phones away. No more phone action. All right. Well, let's see here. Keith, you guys are good. Looking good. All right. All right. Well, if you are, let's see here. If you guys are with us today, definitely want to get your homework done. Got about a few more minutes. I was going to say about 12 minutes, but you got more than that to finish up your homework and just kind of put it all together. The main function is finishing your homework prior to trading, because again, by the time you're in the heat of things, it's no longer a good time to be trying to figure out, well, what about this? What about that? And so on and so forth. Just kind of talking out loud. I haven't fully committed to this idea yet, but I'm starting to get the feeling of a downward day, if not a sideways downward day. So sideways ish downward. I'm starting to get that feeling. Don't know exactly if that's something we're gonna, dive into deeply. But like I said, I'm starting to get that feeling. Gold, as of late, well, you guys already know this, has already been on a tear, so that's been different, I would say. And just be on the lookout. You're gonna start getting like weird little tears in those markets, because when the indexes start to slow down for the summer, money moves somewhere else. Money's always moving. Go into the forex market, go into the bonds market for sure, go into the equities, and so on and so forth. So, if you're a futures trader, above all else, futures, may have never said this before, but futures is, I think, the most dangerous market. And a lot of people should never trade it. Equities is a lot easier than futures. So not everybody is cut out to be like a futures trader. I mean, it's fun to say, yeah, I trade derivatives. Okay. But if you don't know what you're trading, and let's just be honest, a lot of people have no clue what they're trading, then you're really actually setting yourself up to get hurt. And so right now, I'm looking for the white space, and I'm trying to picture the path of least resistance as I'm setting myself up this morning. Um, and that can be hard to do sometimes. So like the S&P right now is just flat. You know, that's not a good picture. However, for us that are in the flagship program, you know, you're thinking to yourself, well, is there like a pattern there? And literally, your job is to sit on your hands until XYZ appears. So, want to really encourage ourselves to do that. I'm really focused on a little bit more of a larger time frame chart this morning. The ES, so the S&P, right? The ES is running up into a M formation. So kind of looks better if I leave it right there. So yeah, I'm just over here finishing my homework. We do more of this in our trading pod room. So yeah, we got that double top. You know, this morning could definitely create. I mean, it's definitely something here. I'm just gonna mark it. So we're rallying in the pre-market. We're rallying into this overhead M formation, which, you know, you got to think about the bull and bear trap that a futures trader runs into. And it's running into a bull trap. So I would think this morning that we would simply rally up into that, fill some orders, and then actually come back down. So it kind of brings us back to that bearish idea that we were talking about. Okay. But I'm not so interested in the S&P this morning. I mean, the S&P already did a few not so nice moves this morning. In a good sense that I'm trying to put together right now, I'll talk to Anthony, is I want to feel very comfortable like with the lines that I'm drawing. So I'm not stressing on time. Okay, I don't even think maybe a good trade will appear brilliantly this this morning. But the S&P is strong, and it's rallying up into these overhead highs that we have. This is a structure, and it's better just overall to see that structure be broken. So you're really getting that structure on the daily chart. And so we don't exactly want to participate in that. That's not going to make us happy. So this is that M we were talking about earlier. And you can see some pockets of supply as it's rallying up. Let me just check the chat with everybody. Okay. Oh, wow. We got some more friends with us today. Hey, leave us a comment. Let us know how your morning's going. And feel free to use the comment box. If I see you write something, of course, I'll try to get to it. But as we get, deeper and deeper into trading, I may not actually see it. So, hey, you're welcome to ask whatever you want. We got some pit traders in the room that are learning the flagship method. So, of course, you guys get the premium chit chat. But and we'll talk about anything later, good, bad, or ugly, later in the trading pod. But anyways, good to see you guys. Feel free to use the chat. Oh man, our good, strong Chris is here with us. I feel safer already. That's awesome. That's awesome. You're awesome. That's really what it is. So Chris, I don't know what time you got in here, but you see that I'm not so energized with oh, good morning. Yes. I'm just gonna call you the phone person. But Chris, we were talking about that M top. We're talking more about a bearish overhead. And so the idea would be to trap the bulls. Because right now, let me actually just slide to that. Okay, you got in just now. Gotcha. Yes, good morning to everybody. Great to have you guys here. Yeah, we're going to see that, Anthony. We're going to see that here in just a minute. To the downside, Anthony. To the downside. That's really what I want to see. That's the key there. Oh, Luis, you're with us. Luis, you got to get Hector in here, What's going on with Hector, Luis? He's probably too busy tattooing something. Yes. And you guys, and Al, you guys feel free to chit-chat back to one another. And like I said, if I see it, then we'll definitely talk about it. But let me get Chris, because Chris just got in here, rocking and rolling. And let me give a special kudos to Anthony. So Anthony right now, he wants to participate, but the internet is out at his house, and he was sharing with me that there was a lot of rain and thunderstorms, stuff like that. And that's really important. I can circle back to it a little bit later as I dive deeper into that. But instead of him trading live, and I really respect this a lot, one, he's participating with us, but instead of trading live, he's actually going to be more in this simulator today using his phone. Reasoning is that it's not a comfortable atmosphere, okay? Like, as a trader, one of our most important things is our real estate that we have on our screen. We don't exactly want to be trading off our phone every single day. That phone is just utilized as a backup. So, we're privileged to be here with everybody. And I would be talking to you, Anthony, I'd be doing the exact same thing you were doing. Or actually, I've actually gone to the library once. Well, that was a super important trade, and I needed some internet. So I just literally dropped everything and ran to find the nearest Wi-Fi, and that was actually at the library. So make sure everyone here has your library card. It's one of my favorite cards. Make sure you definitely get one. If you don't have one, well, just let me know. We'll find you your library card. Nothing better than the library. As you can tell, big library fan over here. Well, hey, I'm at Forex Factory, core CPI. I'm just looking at the results that we have this morning. This right here, look, 8:30. This right here is most likely this devastating. I really hate these things when they appear. This devastating. See, there it is. So, TradeStation, no affiliation. TradeStation always shows the candles close. So that 8:35 is actually the open of 8:30, and then it's closing at 8:35. Just so you understand, that's how this charting service works. And this exact moment, we've just rallied into some overhead supply right here, which is, you know, in 9 minutes, giving us a good interpretation that we can wick up, create another devilish wick, a wick up, and then a fall down. That's kind of the idea that we're producing right here. All right. So that right there, that news announcement, if you were Keith, if you were trading in the pre-market, then you just got destroyed. Most likely, because most likely you'd be a weak bull, you know, trying to put your stop somewhere, and then that's exactly what they're doing. They're just wicking this down to knock you out because you're weak, and then rallying back up. So sometimes you will find trades in the pre-market, but at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, is it high probability? So 8:30, that's that. All right. You can obviously go to investing.com if you'd like. And a lot of time, what you guys will see me do here is, well, actually before that, let me just finish out the week. So tomorrow, we got PPI. So again, at 8:30. So just be aware of that. That could move things around. If you're a natural gas trader, well, okay. That's going to be important for futures. Today at 10:30, it's the next one up. Crude oil inventories is coming out. But, you know, in the chat, is anyone trading crude oil right now? Yes or no? And then if you say no, why? Why aren't you trading crude oil? And there's nothing else. There's nothing else here. So a lot of time you'll see me pop this back on from time to time. I like having FinViz up. I don't exactly know why. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's more like a friendly reminder. I just really enjoy having it here with me. So you'll see me jump this thing on from time to time. As of right now, we're just finishing our homework. So yeah, it's already gone into supply. It's this moment coming down. All right, that's fine. We're not taking any action on that, really, because we're 5 minutes to the open. So I just really need to focus more on finishing my homework here. That's really the answer. Yeah, I'm just catching up. Luis, yes, cool. Yeah, tattooing. Yeah. And he's a great tattoo artist. Looks like Carlos is in the room. Carlos is a wild animal, and we appreciate that a lot, actually. And in our trading pod, no, in our coaching call, we're gonna have Carlos showcase his more like a swing. That's what he's calling it, a swing trade, a magnificent trade, a very good trade, positive trade. So we'll let him do that. All right. So let me just, again, I'm just finishing up. This is weird. So as the S&P is coming up into supply, I'll pop this thing over just really quick. The NASDAQ is also coming up into supply as well. So okay. So actually, just kind of more focused on, again, that higher time frame ish chart, which is the bottom left, and then just trying to get some homework lines on the chart this morning. We're okay if we rally up. That's okay. I want to see weakness enter in. That's really what I want to see. I want to see that weakness entering into the market. And not to get too overcrowded with our with some different thoughts, but depending depending the Russell may produce an interesting thought today, like an interesting trade. Just kind of, I'm not saying to, hey, change what you do, but if it gives you an opportunity, and we're always interested in opportunities. I'm just gonna say it's gonna probably be a lot of waiting. We might have to wait. We might have to just really hone in on our patience this morning. Remember, we don't want to be impatient. For me right now, the best picture for a trade is the Dow Jones, and that's to go short. The S&P is, here, I'll just show you again. Oh, man, the S&P is straight up sideways. And it can break out higher. Now, I don't have any clear signs until it actually breaks out and goes higher. So this all right here is what it is. The NASDAQ as well. Here, maybe I can change. NASDAQ as well is, again, you can see that going sideways, okay? And it's got its own little overhead areas. Most likely, the market will come up and break that high today. And then from there, we'll figure out what it wants to do. Just saying that. So, again, sideways, got to be patient. Just looking for an easy trade. That's the key here. Not showboating. Nothing like that. Just, looking for an easy trade. If anyone's new, this is what kind of like put out there with our pit traders. Being the cheetah in the long grass, being very, very patient, and when the trade appears, then to strike. I'll just put you guys on a 5-minute. Okay, there goes the morning activity right there. This is just a 5-minute chart. On the Dow, we're inside. on the ES, we're at the top of that range, which is right there. So just talking out loud, I mean, you can set up something here in 5 minutes. I'm sure you can. But, and then the other thought is just to wait just a little bit longer, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 9:45-ish time, just to kind of let this change around. If you wanted to, though I don't think it would get there, because that 30-minute zone on the ES is so large on the .D chart. You could naturally go to a micro chart, MES. If you wanted to go long down there, you could. But I don't think we would get there. Okay, so the Dow is already came back. It's filling in its gap, if you will. I think the Dow is actually the weakest. Mm-hmm. Wow. So if I change this to the Dow Jones just for a second, so you can kind of see what that is. So that this morning, you know, dropped down into this little pocket of demand here. So now it's basically fluttering. So what we're trying to get here is we're trying to get confirmation. That's what we're trying to get. Wow. Mm. I mean, there's some bullish pressure here. I'm actually thinking about a long trade, but I just went through all the indexes. It's just not setting up correctly. So it's just gotta give it a little bit more time for the market to jostle, if you want to use the word jostle. There definitely is some bullish pressure here. On the Dow, you know, we came down there, we filled that in, and then it bounced from there. And you know, I wasn't gonna take that long right there. I just want to be really careful that we're not getting trapped in an inside day. So inside days, they typically fill their gaps and then just go sideways from there. If the S&P closes correctly, then we're gonna think about going short to take that to 7753.50. Okay, which is down here. It's looking better. Okay, so I don't exactly like this 5 points, right? So I'm gonna go, I think, short on the ES here. Was already thinking about going short on the 2-minute. So there's one or two plays that you could do here. You could be most aggressive or not. I'm gonna do it at 775. That's a limit order right there. If you were most aggressive, you are in this trade short, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I just wanted to get my price at 775. This is MES. And then I just need to put things where they need to be. If I miss this trade, well, that's just going to be too bad. Because first and foremost, you know, we got to be a risk manager. And then I'm moving my target to where I said I wanted it to go. Mm-hmm. Oh. So the high there is 7775. So it actually did touch it, but I'm not filled. I didn't get filled in that. Just probably because my order is further back of the line. Now at this moment, you could actually, get aggressive on that. So if you feel like it's missing your order, you could get aggressive on it. Just gonna look at a 1-minute chart.
Order filled.
Okay, so there you go. What's in there? So we're not risking too much. One reason that I didn't want to use the mini is because I didn't like the overall movement of the market. So I didn't like that. So I'm not going to trade heavy in a market that I don't like so much. I'm gonna put some warning signs on this chart here. Okay. What's this thing? So like a first warning sign, it's like at 7765. Okay. So we need to, if this thing goes down and goes down correctly, we need to watch how it reacts right here. Then the other one is that home run area. If we can get some traction to the downside, which I really hope we do, but there is no hope in near trading. Just trying to follow a process here. It's going to be at 7753.50, 7753.50. So what I'll do here, 7753.50. Okay. So I'm going to make this a gold line. I'll make it a little bit heavier weight. So 7753.50. All right. So that's where we are. So we need some traction. I don't like that we get in short here and now we're going sideways. I don't like that. So that's telling us that buyers are preventing us from going lower. Kind of makes sense because we do have this danger area sitting right here. Also, if we were to look at the other markets, we need these other markets to start propelling to the downside. So this is just that kind of wait and see now time. That's all. For this trade, the more red we see, the better that is. You might call this reading the tape, or you might, yeah. This is time in sales. So notice how the more red we're seeing, the more money that jumps in here. And then What else? No, green is not a good color for us. So you can also see like the size of the trades that are coming in here. Like 2, 1, 7. Saw 7. 1, 1, 1. There's a lot of ones coming in. Right. So you see that green, and now we want big red bars to the downside. So we're just gonna hang loose. That's all. Just gonna hang loose. If we do get knocked out on this trade, that's okay. I think we may have found a good trade. I think, not exactly sure. Like really, I'd like this to be on the 10-minute chart. Because, you know, this right here, this is causing us a little bit of uncertainty. Like this little buying area here and here, which is all this. But again, this is like all overnight. This is at 8:30. So the Dow has actually come back down. The NASDAQ is not acting kindly. I'm actually starting to think about closing my trade. But the Russell is taking us down. Russell is really pretty. Like the Russell is the chart. Here, let me show you that. The Russell's the chart. So, like, this is our trade sitting right here.
Order filled.
Oh, we got knocked out. This is the trade sitting right there. And what we really wanted was a nice, you know, big red bar coming down. So that's really what we were looking for. So it just rallied up, knocked us out. Okay. That type of stuff happens. That's all right. And we'll just look for another one. And if we survey the landscape of the S&P, we are going sideways. So, you know, yet again, that was just more the idea of go to MES. And if you are wrong, it's not really going to hurt that much. So we gave it a go. It worked out for a little bit. The NASDAQ started to rally against us, and, you know, we get a little slap on the wrist. That's what I would call that right there. A higher level thought might even be well, because it's going sideways, is there any like really strong probabilities that it's going to be filling any gaps today? I think it actually might take longer. It might actually take a lot longer in the day. That's what I kind of think. Oh wow. Yeah. Just to show you. So this is the ES on the 30-minute. If we look at that on the Russell, you can see that's really the market that we're trading in, that chop and slop that's going on. So we want to be really cautious with that, just, you know, moving forward. I'm actually preparing myself to get long here. So if we're thinking about this long trade, I want to take it as a confirmation. So I'm going to let this go. If it wants to act correctly, I want it to go deeply into here, like at 770-ish, or just a little bit further in. And I'm thinking to myself, well, we're actually kind of looking at signs to go higher, but I want to take it as a confirmation. Since I got the first idea wrong, I'm just reducing the size here in this overall sideways market. So I put it in here to go long if it comes back out. We're gonna 68.25.
Order filled.
So that's in long. I just have the stop just sitting right below, and the target I want to put up here. If I get this wrong, then I'm gonna take a step away and just kind of start to think to myself, if and what, is my play wrong? Am I getting chopped up right now? Should I be more patient? Type of deal. That's the idea that's generating. Now, Carlos, that's not a good picture right there. So as we're kind of sitting here waiting, these style of trades aren't so good, because we should already have bounced. Oh, here we go. We should have already bounced into target. All right.
Order filled.
So that's done. So I call that 2 strikes. So I'm just gonna have a moment to think to myself, what am I missing? Am I being too aggressive? Where's the path of least resistance? It's looking like it's to the downside now. So a lot of chop this morning. Good idea played out here, gets stopped out. Idea generated. Well, buyers have stepped in. maybe we're going to the upside. So we're just stuck right here. This is that danger area that we were talking about earlier, where some buyers are. And really that sell short target was sitting right there. So you gotta look out for these volatility spikes when you're trading early in the morning. That's it. That's all it is. Still calm, cool, and collected. The day's not over yet. Just really starting to focus now on patience, high probability trades. That's it. That's the game plan. Knowing that the ES is sideways, which that's not high probability. Knowing that the NQ is sideways. And they are literally just chopping up right now. A good idea also would be, if you're generating that idea, is why don't you just stay out of the market? And yeah, that would actually be acceptable. Actually, tell you the truth, the Russell is actually giving me an opportunity here. I'm actually a little too late for it. Well, we're getting almost too late for it. All right, I'm going to try to be tight on the Russell here. There's no, like, really guarantee. I just got to manage this risk.
Order filled. Now, if this doesn't work, then I'll call it a day. Okay. If this doesn't work. This really comes from the 30-minute chart. For those of us that will be in the trading pod a little bit later today. So we're really trying to play this weakness. That's really what we're trying to do. But you kind of see how the Nasdaq and the S&P, they're just, think of like an island. This is just an island in no man's land, but the Dow and the Russell, they're moving. So we want to continually see that weakness to allow us to go to the promised land, you might say. We can hold on for a 10-minute bar. We will we'll feel a lot better about this trade. So trading is a lot of waiting. And this morning got obviously chopped up, but and now it continues, it's chopping, you know? We really need that continuation. But if you're in a sideways market, you know, are you going to get continuation? That's the type of continuation we want. Like, those are good looks. Like, those pumps right there, those are good looks. If we get a strong 5-minute close here, then we'll be happy with it. Well, we'll be happier. We're not happy with it. Again, for the pit traders in the room, this is more coming off of a 30-minute. And we're just, you know, just trying to stay patient here. That's all. So 30 seconds of play time. It's kind of annoying because the S&P had the right idea this morning, and it just kind of nailed us out there. Well, that's not exactly what we're looking for, that doji that appeared. But it is, you know, it is running into this area right here. $8.15. Yeah, let's go look at what the S&P is doing. So, oops. So earlier we were talking about this area being like danger area. So it's bouncing from it. Good trading on the indexes is going to be when everything's kind of working together. We do like that the Nasdaq does have this supply sitting right here, and we have Carlos sitting right there. So, you know, that's really kind of an idea that I started to generate. Same thing with Carlos's idea. So this is our sell short area, and we were saying, hey, danger here, if you recall. And then the target on the ES was still that pink line, and this is good. You know, we have that little overhead supply there. Sometimes you might hear me say, yeah, I don't know where the line went, but let me put that back on here. That was that danger area that it came into. Sometimes we gotta go up to go down, so go up to go down sometimes. That just looks like it just barely knocked me out. Probably go back later today and check that out. The Dow Jones. The Dow is actually negative right now, out of all of them. Wow. The Dow is... Oh my god. You guys want to see something funny? The Dow Jones is actually getting destroyed right now. I'll go back to a 10-minute. There we go. So, you know, these are good trades to get in when it just goes. When it just goes. And that's what we're looking for. The S&P is fighting to stay on that island that it's on. You know, it's like churning downward. It's like slow, annoying, like going down. Not a really good sign. Out of all of these, the Dow is working very well. And I know I started with talking about, hey, you know, trading the Dow. Yeah. It just looked the cleanest from this morning. Now, this Dow trade will actually help us in our Russell trade. We just have to hang in there long enough for us to have that opportunity. So jumping us back to the ES or the S&P, see there's that blue danger area. So it's bouncing. The selling pressure is still there. We really want to see this thing close downward. I'm kind of wondering, though I do not use it, a 15-minute chart just to kind of see what's there. I think for anyone trading the S&P today, I think it's going to take longer. I think we could get to that pink line. I mean, that was the whole reason for the trade earlier today. Okay, but just staying patient with it. Mm. I don't exactly like what I'm seeing on the 10-minute here. So like, I don't like that doji, and I don't like seeing buyers coming in here on the Nasdaq and S&P, and the Dow is still trumpeting to the downside. So this is a good look. These are just grinding. This is grinding. And then this, I don't like the doji appearing. That we shouldn't be having dojis. We need to be having, you know, red bars, encouraging to the downside type of deal. But it's just a little patience here. That's all. Is any of this making sense? Key words that you hear me say is to stick with your process. Okay, Carlos, adios, man. if you are new and you have any questions, feel free to write anything in there. Yes, inside. Yes. And you see, even the best of us aren't, immune to being chopped up. The question is, can you recognize it, or can you sense it in a way? And then what are you going to do about it? I guess the only thing really I don't like about this Russell is this sitting right here. You know, like it's, again, it bounced into it. It's filling orders. A good trade, like commitment of sellers, would smash right through it, but it's also 10-13 at the exact moment. Like, I was looking at our larger time frame chart, and basically 30, 39, 90. This is going to be a danger area. Okay. Right there. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. For us who are managing this trade, as we go deeper, if you are new, as we go deeper, we're running into buyers in demand here. That's not good for this sell short trade. So if we get a good close here, let me just go look. So we do have a good close here. I'm going to use that to cover what I like to call some like Taco Bell money, right? And if the market comes back and stops us out right there, we just say, hey, we gave it a good try, right? Just simply, it's, oh, here we go. It might actually do it.
Order filled.
Okay, so it came back and just knocked us out, what I like to call Taco Bell money. That's the little area. This little area right here can really, really change it. Really change it. So our target was sitting below. Nothing wrong with that. Danger sitting here, 30.39. Also, this little pocket of buying. We're in some profit. Okay. I liked how the 5-minute was closing. And so naturally, I was allowed to move my stop up, just protect a little bit of money, because I don't need to sit here and keep getting chopped up. What's really going on is you're making your broker rich. That's what's really going on. You're making your broker rich. So, question can also appear, are you over trading at the moment? I don't feel that way. I'm kind of like I'm like in a perspective mood right now, to tell you the truth. Like an introspective mood. Maybe that might be a better word for it. So you got to take what the market gives you. And this morning, the market gave us, you know, a few opportunities. That ES trade would have really worked beautifully, but we got wicked out of it. And that happens. The key here was still noticing the overall market depth, or you might say the market environment. So I moved away from the mini and went to the micro just to manage the risk of that trade because I didn't like the overall picture that I was getting. The NASDAQ is still very sideways. The Russell is now actually really bringing buyers in. The S&P is literally sideways here. Oh, yeah, here it is. So if you get rid of all this picture and you just look at it like that, you know, that's what you're trading in. That's not very good. That's not a good environment to trade. And if you're looking on the .D chart, then yeah, it really doesn't look good. Now on the Dow Jones, let's just jump over to the Dow. The Dow has been really moving beautifully. This is a beautiful chart to trade. Beautiful on the downside, and now we're rocketing back up. So we also want to stay away from these wicks if we can. So, you know, 935, that's the open. Went down, running into gaps, running into demand, bouncing back up. Sellers taking back charge, pushing it back down. Currently, right here, running into supply. However, now we have a problem. The reward is sitting right there. So for this amount of risk to this amount of reward, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? So that's kind of that right there. Okay. Let's see. You know, if you're not happy with the market from the index perspective, you could, if you were trading another market, you could actually go and look at those markets. Not a big fan of trading crude oil right now because of the current situation. When I say situation, I do mean the little Strait of Hormuz. So just because anything can happen over there, I'm really just not even meditating on trading crude oil. Chris Ponce in gold trade right now. Oh, look at you. Let's cheerlead that idea. I like it. We'll slide over there in just a second. If you probably what I might do is I'm just going to be very patient for the rest of the day, just seeing if there is a high probability trade on the day. Yeah. We took, for me personally, took just a few smacks on the wrist. Nothing detrimental, nothing like terrifying, if you will. Honestly, I'm looking for this next trade here, but doesn't look like it's popping up. Like, doesn't look like it's popping up. I also don't like being long and short in the same day. So that in itself is making me it's making me think a little bit. Okay, Chris. You're feeling sexy on your gold trade? Okay. I think I can see some entries that you pulled out here. Just for like Chris or anyone that's looking at the gold chart, you know, it's very bullish. Very bullish. You know, if you go to the daily chart. Very bullish, very bullish. We love it. At this exact moment, you're running up into some overhead supply. So if you are long, you know, make sure that you are sensitive to your profit targets, if not already hitting a profit target. If you were long from earlier this morning, that is just nasty. Look at that, 840. So that's that news. That's that news from the CPI Forex factory that we had earlier today. Yeah. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if we have like a really easy trade that's like actually appeared here. Sometimes, and you guys come and go as you like, okay? Don't feel like you have to stay here all day. But sometimes we really got to stay in it. And when I say stay in it, I mean just like be patient, elongate the day, stay patient for that very first trade. You didn't see me do that this morning. I was very confident on that ES and I was proud of it. And so, like I say in other trainings, you know, you can't tell until you bet. So if you're feeling good about something, if you're following your process and you're locked in on it, then you know, back it up. Back it up. So, unfortunately for us, that 5 minute, that in itself, that just barely knocked us out. Oh, and then it went down. You know, that would have been a day right there. That would have been a day. 80 to 65. That's a good day. That's a good day. But it's okay. We just got wicked out. You know, that type of stuff happens. I think for the ES, we are literally in a range now. So we're going to go from, remember my danger blue line? We're going to go from this blue line back up to here. And then the day is just going to go sideways. So now the question is, do you want to trade that, right? I mean, for one, I would rather trade in such a way that when I enter a trade, it goes directly in my favor, like quickly. So those are more like a momentum style of a trade in MGC trade right now. Okay, Chris, so we're still cheering you on. If anyone else is trading the indexes, just, hey, recognize you do have that bullish pressure. It's pretty much coming from everywhere. And just be aware of the overall sideways market that you're in. Overall sideways market. If it's sideways like this, sometimes those traditional zones will provide a little bit better entry type. I'm just saying that for anyone that's in foundations, it could provide us with a little bit better entry type. If you have a rule that says, hey, I can't trade more than 3 trades in a day, you know, you're pretty much at your max right here. Mm-hmm. 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 Looks like to me, okay, it looks like to me that, excuse me, that we're going to be rallying from this point on. That could help Chris in his gold trade. Wow. Anthony, just talking to you. We talk about it later in the pod. This day to me overall is like a wash. Kind of sometimes I talk about, hey, there's 3 types of trades. There's a winning trade, a losing trade, and a no trade. Now we did trade, sure, but it was kind of more like a wash. Like we had good ideas. The ideas got volatility, you know, striked out representation inside days, sideways markets, and then slapped on the wrist just once or twice, nothing hard. And then, yes, did find a good winning trade on the Russell, sure, but then even that started to turn around. So, you know, anyone that's listening, is that a good environment that you want to trade in? Answer is really no, it's not. This is a demand zone ish. This can definitely work, but I'm not like intrigued by it, you know? Just slide this to a 10-minute chart. Because really, this is what we're looking at. This right here. Sorry. That's really what we're looking at. Whoa. What was that? That was crazy. 10:30. That actually might have something to do with crude oil inventories. Yep. That was not normal. So that's like something is wrong. So I'm kind of just seeing on a Forex Factory kind of if something weird happened. So 1 minute ago, I think this is from Truth Social. The USA has total control over the Strait of Hormuz. I think we will keep it. Our naval blockade is being called by everyone a wall of steel, and there is nothing Iran can do about it. They have no navy, they have no air force, the remaining soldiers are unpaid. The IRGC is decimated and fleeing, and their leadership is uncertain at best. They have no money, their country is shot, all they have is fake news and 300% inflation. And getting worse, Iran is all talk and no action, the bully of the Middle East no longer. And I won't read the rest of that else. I'm not going to read that. But, so literally 1 minute ago, let me just pop this over here. So you can see 1 minute ago. And no, you as a retail trader, you're never going to get immediate, news outbreaks. Like people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and, tens of thousands of dollars every day for direct API links to these type of things. So, 1030 came out. There's the crude oil number. Notice how the forecast is negative 1.7 mil, and actually the real number came out extremely. This is really good for us in flagship. So remember, when we have forecasted numbers, so naturally, you see right here, naturally they're a little bit off, just a little bit off. Okay, that's fine. But to be 17 million off, well, actually it's 16 million off, that's a big spike. Notice that happened at 10:30. That's the big point, okay? So that created over here in your markets, let's just get away from FinViz. That created that right there, and that's a bad day for anybody. Even if you were long, it's still a bad day. You got stopped out just to be proven you're right. So really, I am now biasing the long side just overall, just so you guys understand. I'm looking for an opportunity to get long this market. The goal here would be long here and then get out up here somewhere. Okay, that's because that's playing that sideways movement, because this should be that bend at the end. All right, but again, not a fan of trading sideways. I really got to see the right picture. If I see the right picture, then we will move forward with that idea. That volatility spike, I don't like that. Well, nobody likes it, but that will create a bad day for you for sure. How we doing on gold there, Chris, if you're still with us? Chris, I love it. Chris, you're funny. In the gold trade right now, he says, oh my goodness, just went there too. A hug. Good job, you two. Oh, your friend there, your friend. Chris, well, let's go look. I don't even need to ask him. Let's just look. Cross your fingers that nothing happened here. And if something little like that happened and it causes you to tilt a little bit, then yeah. So I'm looking at gold here, and it did rally up into that area that we had pointed out. So I'm just hoping somebody would have taken a little bit of a profit. And currently, it's down It's down. This gold is now absolutely sideways from an intraday perspective. Really strong idea is to, I mean, you can't do anything with this. You know, this wick out, whatever. Can't do anything with that. We gotta give this thing a whole day to do what it needs to do. That's kind of that. Wow, I really do want to get long the S&P, and I definitely can, but you know, good measure tells us not to do it. Okay, I mean, look at that volatility. It's just all over the place. So again, wanting to get long the S&P, but problem, there's this little selling issue that we have. I'd like to see the current market break through it, then come back, and we can get long, and then we'll go up into here. That would be the goal. Oh, I see. Gotcha there. Well, Chris, you had a ride, and then you got knocked out. Any Taco Bell money, or was it like a full knockout? You know, I don't know if you're able to, if it was following your plan, if you were able to move your stop up to protect some profits. And overall, ladies and gentlemen, the market is turning into topsy-turvy. You know, one moment we want to be long, next moment we want to be short. Those are all signs of a sideways market. Those are all signs of a sideways market. So we gotta be mindful of that. I'm willing to sit and see, you know, what comes up here in the next 20 minutes, going to 11 a.m. type time. I had Taco Bell money earlier, but this was a second trade, and the news stopped me out for a small loss. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Always okay to have a small loss versus a large loss. And good job getting that little Taco Bell money earlier today. That's very good. Okay, so for this idea, we want it to hit here, then come down, and then bounce back higher. And when I say bounce back higher, I mean for the rest of the day kind of thing, okay? That's the idea. And that in itself, right or wrong, that will be the last trade. For this market, that would be the last trade. And so there comes a point when your time's worth more somewhere else. So this is the extremes of sideways. And we'd want to get long down here, so we could target this opportunity sitting higher. Knowing, let's just back up for a second, knowing that the ES or the S&P is sideways, we do have some bullish pressure stepping in. So now the opportunity is like where can we like ride along? Okay, where can we ride along? And so technically speaking, it's like right in this area somewhere. Again, and there was that blue line from this morning talking about where those buyers would be agreeable to stepping in. So we just want this to come back just a little bit. If it does that, we're agreeable to get long. And the target would be like 77.85 even. So 67 to 85 type of deal. And yeah, I know, I'm looking at a 3-minute chart. So because it's hitting this, it should, right? It should go down. It should have that opportunity to go down. It could go up and through it. I would like to see it go down so we go higher. That's the key there. Just do some, as I'm kind of like waiting here, I'm just doing some equations. If this comes back the way I want it to, then up to here, 77.85, that would be like a 4-to-1 style of a trade. Luis, I don't know if you're still here. You've been oddly quiet today. Mm-hmm. So I guess another good tidbit that we could say is, as I always say, rule 2, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Good example of that was that volatility spike that we saw just moments ago. And you better believe everyone, a lot of everyone out there was not so happy with that. Yes, we do have bullish pressure now. If you are, I'm thinking, okay, I could be long, but I'm just absolutely going to be patient in taking that long trade. Because that long trade is really a trade that you would place, and then it's going to take kind of like all day to kind of grind it up, grind through it. I'm going to go back to the Russell just for a second. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So I'm just marking because I just wanted to see this. We entered short on the Russell trade, just going back and revisiting. Right there. And then the market went a little topsy-turvy. Then with that little news report, it actually bounced it down. And if I'm looking at this correctly, yeah, I am. Overall, this would have gotten to that target that we were talking about earlier in today's session. The question would have been right here, you know, would you be able to cover? That's the question. That was a really tough one. I'm glad that I moved the stop up, protected some Taco Bell. This green candle, too much volatility, stopped us out just a little bit, boom, 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 and then it dropped. So what I'm training myself is, hey, you had the right idea. Just the volatility popped in there, and you got out. You got out, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I would have hit the target, but yet again, we took evasive maneuvers, and that's the key. For those of us in coming to Trader Pod today, we'll talk about this in the pod. I'm just kind of thinking for a second. Do I see a trade that's so easy? I say a 7-year-old could do it. I'm not at this time. I'm not actually seeing that. There's so much. So let me walk away from this chart just for a second. Just kind of give you. Well, actually, it's better if we look at it from this perspective. A hug. He is long. Oh boy. You know, this is what we're dealing with here. This is not a beautiful market. So I should probably go back and count how many times I've said that. So if you are in a trade, make sure you do manage your trade. I would really start to say to myself, not a good day to trade. I'm done. Okay. Took a small loss here and there. Completely okay. And gonna leave it where it is. But I'm starting to get interested as to how the market is now like developing. Like the market's developing. And a lot of time you have to sit and wait for the market to develop. And here comes the market to the downside. I don't even think the market knows what it wants to do. Let's see here. Luis says, "Yeah, dude. I'm with the customers. Oh, well, absolutely. We want you kicking butt with the customers. You're the man. Anthony says, I was in mess, got stopped out with that long wick, low risk, re-entered at 65. Okay. Let's have a little question. Re-entered at 65. 65. Oh, wow. Okay. So you got wicked out. You breathe. Oh, that's interesting. You thought to yourself, am I thinking correctly? Am I on the right side of the market? Your answer was, yes, I am. So without even hesitating, you went back long at 65 and you allowed this. Oh, look at you. You're on that blue line. And you allowed this volatility to ram you back up to the upside. And now we're dancing. So you already know what to do. I'll leave it right there for you. But very good re-entering. Went long. Very good. Yeah. Everybody here, not a good day to trade. Way too much of this whipsaw back and forth. For us, you collected a lot of good points last week. If you keep trying to trade in this, you're reducing your points. Then we also don't want to reduce our psychological equity. So there is nothing wrong with your play. There's nothing wrong with it. The market's not agreeing to play it out in a manner that would provide, I don't want to even use this word safety, but literally to provide that confidence boost in yourself, okay? Wow. If the ES keeps going down, that 5350 will come in play for the ES. Mhm. Okay. Well, four more, let's see, 4 more-ish minutes, if you will. Yeah, be very cautious for those of us that are staying. Gonna maybe trade once or twice, a little bit more. The only other thing I want to say really is like Monday, just going back on the week, there was a super easy trade on Tuesday. And then Monday, maybe not so much. But Tuesday was super actually easy. Mm. $54, $150. It looks to me like the market is getting set up for tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow is more down to the downside. That's what I'd really like to see. So just kind of setting up for tomorrow. That's what it looks like is going on. And typically with these chops and slops, that is really actually what's going on. They're just, you know, setting it up. Mm-hmm. We had good plays. Nothing wrong with the play. Volatility pick us up. Taking evasive maneuvers, which is not a safe environment to continually trade. A lot of time, you just want to try to find one trade, maybe 2 or 3 trades that are high quality for the day. Took what used to be gas money. Okay, there you go. Took what used to be gas money. Okay, everybody. So, hey, we'll call it a day. Good job to all of you. See you in the trading pod. If you are going to keep trading today, make sure you're a risk manager first and you do manage that. Understand that the overall market is sideways, and you don't really want to be trading in a choppy and sloppy environment. If you did get a little stopped out, kind of like, in my opinion, like I did today, just prepare yourself and start setting up your mental clarity for tomorrow. Okay? And we will have a stream on Friday because I know with scheduling conflicts, some things came up. So we'll definitely do that Friday. And let's see. That's really looking about it. If you're if you're interested in what a trading pod is, that's for our members here at PITTRADER, where we'll come back later today and look to see who had the best trade, and then learn from that trader. What were they thinking? What were they? What was their analysis like? Like, again, trying to just develop and become better. So, all right. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Talk to you later. Bye now.